Hey, what is up, guys? My sincere apologies for not really doing very many videos this week. I'm sorry I've been a little bit busy, but I'm here to bring you another childhood stories episode, and Gun vs. Gun will continue this weekend, and probably some kill streak comparison, get that stuff done. So, yeah, so let's get right into it. So, this is my childhood story, if you read the title, about my Superglue incident. You guys are like, really, man? I use Superglue to fix like broken toys and stuff. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I pulled a common dummy, but I'm gonna tell you actually before then. I'm gonna tell you a recent story what happened at school. So I was chilling on a bus, sitting next to one of my friends, one of my best friends, and we're almost in my house, right? And I look outside. And I see a cat, and my neck, like, lately, mainly since, like, the 9th grade, I've been calling cats, pussies, because that's what they are, they're pussy cats, but, like, you know what I'm saying, so I was like, oh, look, a pussy outside, and I was, like, pointing to the cat, and then my friend starts laughing, and then this kid in the back of the bus is just like, the only pussy I see is the one sitting next to, and then he said my friend's name. And so I knew he was talking about me because I was the only one sitting next to my friend. So I turn around, and I'm like, you know what's funny? And his name was Garrett, so, I was like, you know what's funny, Garrett? The only ass you ever get is when your finger breaks through the toilet paper. And by the time I started saying, like, you know what's funny? The whole bus went completely silent. And, like, I turned around, I was looking at him, like, right at him, and, directed that towards him. The whole bus, uproar of laughter. Everybody starts being like, yeah, buddy. Just like, oh my god, they start cracking up. He shut up. He's just like, good one. And it's just like, you know what? He hasn't, like, mentally messed with me in a while. And he himself is actually pretty good at comebacks. And I didn't come up with that comeback. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty sweet to just like say that to him, like I've been waiting to use that one, and he just it's like a general comeback. Like you can just say that to like anything someone says to you, and they'll just be like, oh my god, wow, and they'll be like totally offended because like there's not really anything you can really say to that. Like I know this kid who actually came up with something you can like respond to that, and it's like, so what? The first thing you think about when you think about me is my butt. So it's like, I mean, that's an okay comeback, but the diss itself is just so epic, guys. Try it out if anyone's being, like, talking crap. They'll probably shut up, I bet you. So, that's just something really recent I thought I'd just go over, because it wasn't anything, like, super epic, but I just thought I'd tell that. So about my Superglue incident. So, I was babysitting at the time, and I had some Superglue, and my remote controller had just broken. Like, you know how remote controllers have these two, like, sticks, like these control sticks, and, one of them had snapped in half. So I was going to Superglue it back so I could actually control my remote control, because it's kind of weird with, like, a half-broken remote control thing. So I was, like, looking at the Superglue, and we got this fresh bottle. It was, like, this black kind of Superglue. And I'd never opened Superglue before. I'd used it, dries in about 15 seconds. It dries really fast and rapidly. So, I go, and I'm like, looking at the bottle. And, me being myself, I'm not really gonna, read the directions so much. I'm not gonna be like, how do you actually waste 5 minutes of your life and read these directions? So, like, I guess what you do is you just take the cap, turn it inside out, and press through this little, silver lining kind of thing, where the Superglue comes out, and then you put the cap back on, and then you're good. Well, you don't put the cap back on, but you know what I mean. So, like, you poke the hole using the cap, so it's kind of weird, like, the cap, the other side of it's pointed, so, me being myself, I didn't read the directions of it. Now, ever since then, I obviously have, because I'm not really, like, what a fail. So, what I do is I'm like, okay, so the Superglue itself, the body of the Superglue tube, and the Superglue tube's kind of small, 2 inches long, like centimeter wide or so, but so it's not a very big Superglue tube, of course, because I don't think they really sell any ones, like, bigger than, I'm not really sure, maybe the jumbo size, but, so I'm like, okay, so if I start squeezing this a little bit, it has to the seal at the top, I don't really know what I was thinking. You know, alright guys, so I was like 11 or 12. I don't know, I really don't know what was going through my head, like, oh yeah, I've got this, even if the seal breaks first, then it's just gonna, you know, go all over, like, the couches, because I was sitting on the couch at the time while I was babysitting, and what had happened was, I started squeezing a little bit, and it explodes, but like a tiny, tiny bit, so like, this little hole in it exploded, and this little tiny stream, like not even like a water droplet wide, goes straight into my eye. Yes, guys, into my eye. So my natural reaction is to close my eye and put my hand over like, ah! So, first of all, what that would do, if you obviously know how super glue works, is my hand is stuck to my face and my eye is closed shut, and then I'm screaming, and then, the kiddos watching started screaming as well, and and my parents were at the store, so I was alone, and I was like, oh my god. So I covered I think I put my other hand on my face as well, so I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. This is just straight up ridiculous. So I do that, and I'm screaming, I'm just like, what the hell? So I run over to the sink, because, you know, water and super glue mix really well, and by that I mean it helps get it off of you. So I went to the sink, both my hands are stuck to my face, you know, so I went to the sink, and I started, like, put my face on it, used my elbow to kind of turn on the sink, and I was like, and then pulled my hands away from my face. My eye was still closed shut, and, I was just like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. So I pick up the phone and I call my dad, and I don't know if I only had one hand free at the time or what the deal was with that. So I call my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I got some super glue in my eye, should I call 911? Because I wasn't really sure if they considered that emergency, or just like burst out laughing. So like you can imagine, just think about the people on the 911 receiving call, like, wow, this idiot got super glue in his eye, like for real. And like how I managed to do it was just so stupid. So I call 911 and I'm like, hey, what's up? I have some super glue in my. She's like, what's your emergency? And I'm like, well, I have some super glue in my eye. And I swear, if I were her, I'd just be like, yeah. And start like laughing, because really, when does this stuff happen? It's really rare. So I bet she's trying to keep a straight face. I mean, I can't see her. We're not like webcamming or anything like that, because it's just a phone. But so I'm like, okay, I got some super glue in my eye, and their process is so lame. It takes so long. They're like, where do you live, and like all this other critical information. I'm like, just get it when you get here. Come help me out. I have super glue in my eye. If you don't help this fast, I'll be blind. I think it was actually my left eye, so it was freaking ridiculous. So I guess the paramedics, a fire truck, and a police officer show up, and only the paramedics are helping me. I don't know why the fire truck was there, just like, alright guys, if your house randomly bursts into flames or this stupid idiot managed to get super glue in his eye, then I'll help you out. Don't you worry, I'm here. And the cop's like, make sure nothing bad happens. So I was like, really? This is kind of strange. So I give her all my information, and it takes a couple minutes, and my dad, like, comes home from the store really fast. It's just like, I think he even got there before the paramedics. It's kind of pretty sick. So we go into my parents' shower with the paramedics, because they're like, oh, dude, you need to rinse your eye for like 20 minutes and like a shower. So I was fully clothed, because I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah. So I guess I still have my phone in my pocket, so I'm like, oh crap. And it was a Sanyo katana, I think. Yeah, it was a katana, so really old phone, but it's actually like my first phone, so it's pretty sweet. Not really, it's a piece of crap. So anyway, so we get my phone out of my pocket, and I'm just like, get my super glue out of my eye, and then that was all good, and the paramedic checked with like his flashlight, did all these cool stuff. So turns out I was alright. Triple! No, just kidding. So, turns out I was, turns out I was okay. My eye's alright. My eyes are pretty decent, you know. On my screen, scoring portion? No, just kidding. Just messing, yes. So, that was really what happened with the super glue incident. After that, my parents were just like, really? Like, you're that stupid? Like, no, they didn't say that. They weren't, like, total mean about it. But we all had a good time. And now that I look back on it, like, really? I was that stupid. Like, it's pretty great. It's pretty funny, if you may admit it. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I still have plenty more of these childhood stories to get going, and then I'm probably going to get going on some high school stories in a while. I don't know, I mean, I'm still in high school, so gotta enjoy these epic stories when they happen. So, I really hope you enjoy this gameplay and the story. I thought it was pretty great myself, and now that I look back on it, I just laugh at all these old stories, you know, they're pretty great. So, yeah, that's a little bit more about myself. They may want to know that when I was 11 or 12, I was a complete idiot. So I went 41 and 3. Yes, really hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I'll see you later.